Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel and welcome to my latest project that I'm bidding on. So we start at Wolverhampton. This isn't going to be a long video of loads of bidding. This was just an example of a car, a 2011 Lounge Cat S, which you can see is from the rear in that picture at the top right hand corner. I suspect rear crash bar may have pushed into the chassis slightly, and that's the reason for the Cat S. 77,000 miles on the clock, and I thought you might get about 1100, 1150. I mean, car prices are still reasonably high, and you do find the odd bargain, and you do find cars that just defy all belief. But anyway, so yeah, 3,000 odd people, and yeah, this got to a couple of bonus times and eventually sold for 1450, so not far off £2,000, but if you include delivery you are talking probably about just over £2,000. Quite insane really. And so we move on to this 2014 Colour Therapy, which as you could see was about 1680 at the time that I started recording this. 21st of April I was bidding on this. Now this was through ASM Autos, where basically Silverlake, who are just like Copart, advertise their cars, and you get into a nice bidding war with people. But you don't go up in 25s or 50s, you can go up in £10. So this auction lasted for well over 3.5 minutes of some very small increment bidding. And the reason that I started bidding on this in the first place is because I had a grey front bumper. So I thought, let's just get a grey 500. Pop, Therapy, yeah, or a Lounge, which I'm more interested in. And this came up in Southampton, which is not too far from me, and I started getting into this bidding war. But as you can see, it pretty much gets down to zero, and then every time someone bids, then the clock sort of resets and it goes between 10 to 30 seconds left. So this just went on and on and on, and you're more than welcome if you want to fast forward this by another 2 minutes. But you can see we're at 1760. And anyway, so if you don't know much about colour therapies with the 500 range, it sits between the Pop and the Lounge. So the Pop is your bog standard 500. There's no fanciness about it. There's no alloys. There's no Bluetooth. There's no aircon. It is your bog standard, as basic car as you can get. Then you got your Lounge, which does have your Bluetooth, your alloys, your chrome, your panoramic glass roof. And then you got the Colour Therapy, which, as I say, sits in between. So that's a combination of both cars. So you have the Pop, which take the Pop elements of this car, which means that you've got no alloys, you've got no glass sunroof, you've got no Bluetooth, but they throw in air conditioning, and then they whack in some reasonably expensive hubcaps. They've changed the wing mirror caps, and then they throw a white aerial into the making. They might do something a bit fancy with the seats, but they get rid of all the chrome, and you're left with, yeah, a Colour Therapy. It's not a limited edition, I don't believe, and I don't know what the prices of these would have been if you were buying them at the showroom, but I'd imagine they've sat in between the two. So yeah, so you can see I'm winning it with 3 seconds to go at 18:20, final call, and yeah, I won it for £1,820. You've got to add on fees onto that one. So yeah, so let's have a look around the car. So nearly a month ago I purchased this, and we won it for 18.20. Out the door, it's just over 2.2, and I managed to get delivery from Southampton for about £70. So it owes me about 2,300. So anyway, let's go through some little brief stats on this one. It's a Cat N, 43,000 miles on the clock. No V5, has the keys, starts and drives. Down the bottom, description wise, frontal accident. And that is the car in a nutshell, really. MOT is completely clean. There's no advisories on it, and it was done in September of last year. I think, if I'm being honest, I'm probably going to have to put another MOT on this one, just so that I can sell it with a 12-month MOT. But hopefully on a 2014, we should be okay. So, let's start with the pictures. You'll notice, if you know your Fiats, these are not the original hubcaps. They have been replaced, and we'll go into the hubcap business in a minute. But from the passenger side, no problems at all. From the driver's side, we have the accident, and it's taken a hit about here, and it's dented the wing, completely cut the bumper here, and the headlight's gone, and you can sort of see where the bonnet sort of raised here, and I don't know if that's because of the bonnet support, which is situated just under the glass here, or whether something's happened with the slam panel which has caused this bonnet to sort of slightly raise up. So yeah, but this is where it's all gone on. So yeah, so sorry, if we look back here, we're going to need a new wing and a new bumper. But as I say, I've already got the bumper and it was already in colour. I didn't have to paint it or anything. So I think I picked up the bumper for something like, with DRLs, for something like £80 or something. And the wing I've already picked up, and I think that was 60 or 70. So yeah. From the sort of the rear, got no issues here at all. Again, you can see the same hubcaps on both sides. Again, no problems here. Lovely picture of the roof to show this white aerial. Another angle of the roof. Here's your frontal, or your front facing picture. Nothing wrong with the back. As you can see, it's all dechromed, otherwise that would be nicely chromed there. Interior wise, looks like it's all been cleaned out, to be fair. You've got your matching gear knob for colour, and these seats almost look like facelift seats. The material is very different, and the colour's different. Whether or not that's because it's the therapy, I'm to be honest, I'm not 100% sure. But they're certainly better than the pop trim, that's for sure. But otherwise, nothing special really going on in here at all. Rear seats, bit of marking down here, but that will come out with a good shampoo. Engine bay needs a good clean, and we've got some sort of black box connected to the battery, obviously for safe driving. And yeah, it's obviously had a flat battery because it's displaying all of the stuff here. No warning sign, so I'm happy there. You can see again, if we zoom in on here, doesn't really matter because that's going to get taken off anyway. And that's your bonnet there, your bonnet line. Until you get it, you can't really tell what's gone on here, if I'm being honest, until you put a new wing on and then see how this matches up. And no real issues here that I can see. Nothing here. And nothing here either. So, they take certainly more pictures than Copart, which is quite nice. And that is your 2014 Therapy. Now, when I won this, I spoke to Paul about these hubcaps because I immediately started looking for them. And I wouldn't say they're gold dust. If you want second-hand ones, they're gold dust. If you want brand new ones that are well over £100 each, there's plenty around. And there was a bit of discussion with him. And eventually, I found on eBay someone who was selling all four. And I was going to say the price, but actually, I'll let you think for the minute. 4 Therapy hubcaps, plastic hubcaps. Now, the difference between these and normal pop hubcaps is that what you've got is you've got the hubcap, and then in the centre you've got like a chrome piece, which sort of takes up half the room, with then a Fiat badge in the middle. This chrome piece is actually, it isn't like fake plastic, it is actually chrome. And you do see a lot of Therapies driving around actually where they've just removed all of the hubcaps, because obviously they fall off and then they see how much it costs to replace them, and then they don't bother, they just go to Halfords and get a really cheap set. But anyway, have a think how much you would pay for 4 Therapy hubcaps. They actually have arrived. I think 2 are new and 2 are slightly used, but they're good condition, so they will be put on the car. I spent £154 on 4 hubcaps, which actually was a bargain, because at the same time there was one on auction on eBay and that was £60 just for one. So that gives you a bit of an idea. And some people would say, why the hell are you throwing money at that car? Just literally fix what you can and then just sell it. But it's a Therapy, and I kind of think that it should be made to go back towards a Therapy again, because I think these are cheap and nasty. But I appreciate everyone's just going to say, well, not everyone, but some people will just say, just make a profit and just get as much out of it as you can and don't bother. But I'd just like to think that I want to be able to sell this car looking like a Therapy again, really. I might have to think about whether I can use some clear cable tie in each one just to keep them on, because they do seem to fall off quite easily. So yeah, so we're looking at the bumper, the side wing, some hubcaps at the moment, and a headlight. Oh, and a DRL? Yeah, sorry, and a DRL. So it's not, if I'm being honest, I don't know. I mean, you tell me, on a 2014 with 43,000 miles on a Cat N, what you'd pay for something like this. Because I appreciate that this isn't a lounge. So I welcome all your comments on this. So whack them in the box below. And yeah, I will catch up with you all next week, where I'll do the walk around video for you. I think that's going to be about it for today. So give the thumbs up. And let's just realise there's a nice Audi on the back there. That's taken a nice little hit. Oh dear. Anyway, thumbs up, comments, and subscribe for more from the channel. Until next time, I'll see you all again very, very soon.